Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to That's Football, not the United Stand. I've just been live on there, so got that all mixed up, but hope we're all doing well. Oh, echo foals. So, Liverpool versus Southampton is our featured watch-along of the 3 o'clock Saturdays today. Looking forward to this, but also very interested to keep an eye on Crystal Palace against Aston Villa as well. I think that's going to be a very interesting game as well. Ian says that Mane is going to score 100%. No excuses, but I've absolutely messed up my hot cup of tea. I've absolutely messed up my fantasy Premier League. Yeah, I'm going to own up and say I've messed up. I should have done it. I didn't, and because of that, I've messed up. So my team is God knows what it is. I don't know, but let me just sort myself out on the screen a little bit here. That's not right either. In the efforts to go live earlier. Okay, a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. There we go. There we go. Okay, so how are we all doing? Hope we're all doing very well. We've got, as I said, Liverpool against Southampton, Anfield, and Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park against Aston Villa. Also Norwich playing today as well. I think Norwich are playing Wolves. So in relation to the league table, it's a bit of a concern for me as a United fan. Arsenal have thumped Newcastle 2-0. Well, they beat them 2-0. Which I want to talk about very, very quickly at the start. So Arsenal are up to 5th place with 23 points. Which I think is... I just cannot... You know, Arsenal lost last week to Liverpool. Oh, I'll take her out. And I'm like... I don't know. I think Arteta and Arsenal are progressing, and I think that game on Thursday night is going to be very, very, very interesting against Manchester United. How that actually pans out. But Arsenal, having lost their first 3 games of the season, have gone and got themselves basically joint 4th. That's where they are at the moment. So Arsenal in a really, really good position. But before we talk about the games coming up, I've said this a few times, and a few people were like, "No, you're not good. You're not right, Goldbridge. You're wrong on this one. You're absolutely wrong." Newcastle are going to get relegated. I said Brentford will go down, and I know that's a bit of a stretch at the moment, but Newcastle are going down. They're going down. They're going down like the Titanic. They are rich. Very expensive. That's exactly what happened to the Titanic. Oh, we can't sink. It's the unsinkable. It's the richest boat that's ever been built. Let's get a load of snobs on it. Look at how rich we are. We're great. Then what happens? It's first voyage. It's an iceberg and it sinks. Well, Newcastle are rich and they're going to sink as well. They've got 6 points from their first 13 games. In 5 games' time, we're halfway through the league season. Which will be 18 games. Now look at Newcastle's next 5 games and tell me where they're going to win. They've got Norwich next week. Okay, they might win on Tuesday. They've got Burnley. Okay, they might win against Burnley. But then they've got Leicester away, Liverpool at home, and they've got Man City. The absolute maximum they're going to take from their next 5 games is 9 points. And even that makes me want to laugh. But if they get 9 points from their next 5 games, they'll be on 15 points. I think they'll do well to be on 12 points, right? 15 points halfway through the season. You need to get to 40 points to be safe. They're going to get 25 points in the next half of games. I can't see it. I think they're going down. I think they are going down. I mean, their only hope is that a couple of other teams do shitter than they do. Well, they need 3 shit teams to do shitter than they do. I think Newcastle are going down. They can chuck all the money they want to at it, but I think they're going to go down. So, Mark, have you watched The Tiger King 2? Do you think Carol killed her husband as a former detective? I haven't watched it, Stephen the Hazard, no. Where's that Slow Sports News badge? Well done, mate. Good United analysis, says Nick. I really enjoyed being on Sky today because it was all about Manchester United and it was a good chat, so I enjoyed it. The Titanic didn't get a 200 million injection, though, says Chris. I think, actually, Chris, if you looked into the growth of money, inflation, the cost of Titanic, inflation, how much would it cost to equivalently build the Titanic today? I bet it would be about 200 million quid. A lot of money. And I wasn't on the Titanic. I'm not that old. But let's have a look at today's 3 o'clock kickoffs and the wider context of the league. So Liverpool today could win They wouldn't go top if they win, but they would go 1 point behind Chelsea, who hopefully will drop points against United tomorrow. Man City are playing West Ham tomorrow at 2 o'clock. It ain't on the bloody telly. It's not on the telly. They've got Everton Brighton on the telly. Everton against Brighton's on the telly. Why is Everton against Brighton on the telly and not Man City against West Ham? So that's an interesting game tomorrow, but I do think Man City will beat West Ham. So I can see a situation where at the end of the weekend, Man City and Liverpool will be on the late 20s of points. Wolves against Norwich is really interesting because I've got no idea how Wolves are ahead of Manchester United, but they are. And if they were to win today, Wolves would go 5 points ahead of Manchester United. Interesting, isn't it? Arsenal are 6 points ahead of Manchester United at the moment in 5th place with 23 points. Norwich, with a win today, could get themselves out of the bottom 3 because Leeds and everybody else, Leeds don't play till tomorrow. And then the other kick-off, which I'm really interested in keeping an eye on, and I will do, is Crystal Palace against Aston Villa. 13 points for Aston Villa against 16 points for Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace at home, if Crystal Palace were to win, they would go above Manchester United and Tottenham and go all the way up to 6th place, potentially, if Wolves didn't win. So, interesting games to come. Which way do you think it's going to go? I'll give you the team news just while we're waiting. So, Alisson, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk and Robertson as the back 5 for Liverpool, with Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago in the midfield, and then Salah, Jota, Mane. That's a very strong Liverpool side, I think you'll agree. Southampton, McCarthy, Bednarak, Lianco, Salisu, Livramento, who's been brilliant this season, Ward-Prowse and Romu, who are better than McFred, Perud, Broja, Adams and Armstrong. That's your Southampton team. So, be a difficult game for Southampton today. I'm going to say Liverpool to win 3-0. We'll have a look at Crystal Palace against Villa because I'm interested to see how they line up. Gator, Ward, Tompkins, Gea, Mitchell, Gallagher, Milovic, Koyota, Alice, Benteke and Zaha. For some reason, Edouard's always on the bench for Palace. Such is life. And then Villa, Gerrard's second game in charge. Martinez, Cash, Konza, Mings, Targay, McGinn, Nakamba, Bailey, Ramsey, Young, Watkins. He's playing away from home and he's dropped... what's his name? Ings is on the bench. So Gerrard mixing it up, showing him who's boss. Interesting to see how that goes today. Thanks for the super chats that are coming in. Afternoon, Mark. Loved you on the Sky this morning. Definitely would like you to do your own show on Sky. Goldbridge Talks Football as the show name, says Josh Thompson. Well, watch it on Sky and start spamming them to do it because I'm actually getting the bug for it now. It's quite a nice setup down there, but no. I'm committed to this. The only bad thing about my mainstream media, and I was actually talking to their producer about it today, is that before you start, you don't talk about this, and don't swear. That's not the producer's fault. That's not Sky's fault. That's the, regulations that they have. So, anyway, let me get the timer ready for you. So, of course, these are 3 p.m. kickoffs, so you can listen in on the radio. We'll also have updates from people who are watching as well. But we'll be keeping featuring the game between Liverpool and Southampton, but also Crystal Palace Villa. I think is going to be very, very interesting to keep an eye on as well. I will put a timer on the screen that will be relevant to the Liverpool game. But look, it's 3 o'clock kickoffs, and I always like this. We did this a few weeks ago in August. We sort of just did a 3 o'clock show and just kept an eye on loads and loads of football games. It's not just about the Premier League. There is a full fixture of games in the Championship. I don't know who even knows top of the league in the Championship, but Coventry were doing quite well. They're playing Bournemouth, who are doing quite well as well. Also, my local team, National League. I don't know whether it's been called off. I bet it's been called off. Solihull Moors, it's been called off. Bastards. Eastleigh, they were meant to play. We've had some bad weather, so the trouble is the lower you go down the leagues, the more games you get called off. Tranmere against Stevenage has been called off because of weather. But no games called off in League One or the Championship. So... what else have we got? Lots of FA Cup games going on today as well. Across Europe, what we got? Spanish La Liga, Celta Vigo beat Alaves 2-1. Valencia are playing Rayo Vallecano at 3:15. Lots of German games kicking off. That's what tends to happen in Germany. Bayern Munich are kicking off at 5:30 against Armenia. Not the country, but there is Dortmund losing 1-0 currently to Wolfsburg. They kicked off at 2 o'clock. So there you go. Dortmund not having a very good season. Out of the Champions League as well. A couple of games going on in Serie A. Sampdoria are losing to Verona at the moment, and Fiorentina are drawing with Empoli at half time. So look, lots to keep us abreast, and you can do and get involved in that as well. It's your show as much as it's anybody else's. So keep us up to breast with scores and information and what you're doing. I'm going to go get your score predictions in. I'm going to go Liverpool to win 3-0. They're at home to Southampton. And I'm going to go Crystal Palace to beat Villa 2-1. Controversial, you might say, but I think you're underestimating just how good Crystal Palace have been this season. So, yeah, let's see how it goes. Zayn Miasi's just flown in with 3 points. Look, Zayn, you were Arteta out. I told you, have a little bit of patience. So, very good. TNT says it'll be 4-0 to Liverpool. Advat says 2-1 to Liverpool. Mad says 2-0 as well. Am I the new Jeff Stelling, says George. Well, I could be, but they won't go for me, but I could be. Imagine that, the banter I'd have with Merson and people like that. Palace is fun to watch, says La. Snide. Yeah, look, I don't mind doing these if I've got time to do them on a Saturday afternoon. I think it's always a bit of fun and a bit of interaction, isn't it? I was up at 5:30 this morning, got a taxi down to London, got there at about 8:20, was on the show at 9:30, straight out, walked past Paul Merson, got in a taxi, came back. I did walk past Paul Merson actually walking out of the building. You'll never get. I was on my phone, I looked, Paul Merson was walking the other way on his own. And you know what he said to me? He said, thank you. And I thought, is he thanking me for my brilliant banter and content, or is it because I slightly moved out of the way so he could go past? I'd probably go with the former, but you never know. But no, I did walk past Paul Merson. And the funny thing is, I actually thought when I walked past him, he probably might have been thanking me because I didn't say, all right, Paul, can I have a picture? Because I just wasn't starstruck. I just was like, I actually walked past him like this. I looked up and I saw him and I was like, I moved out the way and I kept walking. I sort of gave him a glance to see if he'd look at me, and he went, thank you, and I went, no worries. But I certainly wouldn't be getting, Paul, can I have a picture? Which he probably appreciated in a way. And as I walked past, I think I did hear I think I heard him say, can I have a picture? But I was already in the taxi. Right, let's get ready to go. We have just kicked off, actually. Let's start the whistle there. Have we got a timer on the screen? We have. Okay, so Liverpool against Southampton. We're up and running, and we're up and running in both games, actually. Southampton and Liverpool and Villa and Palace. Let's see how we get on. Anthony Taylor is going to be the referee tomorrow. I did an interview with Southampton straight on the attack, actually, there. An early corner for Southampton. I don't know how that happened, but there you go. What was your... I'll come back to that one, Vavath. But yes, I did a podcast with Alex Goldberg, the Chelsea fan, last night, and he asked me about Anthony Taylor, and I said, look, I've done loads of watch-alongs. I'm doing a watch-along now, and the only watch-along I've ever quit and said I'm not carrying on wasn't a United game. Some of you might have been watching at the time. It was Chelsea against Arsenal in the FA Cup final, and I ended the stream 20 minutes early because I was just disgusted by Anthony Taylor. So I understand why Chelsea fans have got a problem with him, but you know. It's gone out for a goal kick. What was your reaction? Where's that? Okay. What was your reaction when you heard about Gary Speed's death, and how do you deal with mental health after receiving online abuse and hate? Love you, Mark, says Vavath. You know what? Really good point. Let's just keep an eye on what's going on in the games at the moment. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, because we're getting really close. Liverpool have got a chance. They've got a really good chance. Jota's probably been a little bit greedy here. But he has been very greedy there. He could have fed in Mane. He could have fed in Salah. He's been really greedy, trying to get the shot off himself. But they're still on the attack, Liverpool. It's a good start by Liverpool, this. Mane gives it into Robertson. And they have scored now. And you know what? He was greedy before, but he wasn't greedy the second time. Jota makes it 1-0 to Liverpool. And he could have been... What a fast start to the game for Liverpool. Southampton got an early corner, and now they're 1-0 ahead. And it's interesting because they had a 3v2 situation with Jota running through like that. He could have gone left to Mane, he could have gone right to Salah. He decided to hold on to it himself and get a shot off. It blocked. It went what appeared to be out of danger, but Robertson wins it. Got the 1-2 back from Mane. It was poor defending by Southampton. Then he cuts it back and Jota's got a simple tap in. So Liverpool in no mood to be messing around here. They're 1-0 up already. And Southampton doing what you don't want to be doing away from home. And that is conceding a goal very, 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 very quickly. So it's 1-0 to Liverpool. Probably should have been 1-0 just before that, actually. But 1-0 to Liverpool. And it's Jota who scores the goal. No VAR. Looks like Southampton are going to get battered to Samanshu. I mean, look, Hasenhüttl is a product of the Rangnick system. Southampton are always capable of getting battered, like somebody said, though. They are. Southampton are one of those teams that can just go and get hammered. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens. I feel I need to just go back to that comment about Gary Speed. Now, Gary Speed was a footballer that when I was growing up played for Leeds, and I really liked Gary Speed. I remember I always used to think that a midfield three of Keane, Ince and Speed would be just unbelievable. So I mean that's how long ago it was. It was sort of like the 90s, early 90s, wasn't it? Fantastic player. Took his own life about a decade ago yesterday, and 42. Which is actually my age now. I was thinking about it in the car, and I was like, that's quite humbling in a sense that it makes you realise just how how fragile life can be. But the point was those sort of things when football isn't just Manchester United to me. Football is like Match Magazine, 442 Shoot. Growing up, it wasn't all about Man United. I respected and liked other players, and Gary Speed was certainly one of those players. So it was devastating when that happened. And but it got me thinking, mental health is so important, and there are so many good people in this world that if you're ever feeling down, then please do speak to people, or there are specialists you can speak to that will help you out. There's a free kick for Villa here. I just want to just see what happens with this, and then I'll come back to it because it's disappointing. It's a decent point. Nothing happens with the free kick. But, you know what? I don't know whether anyone else feels like this. It happened with that presenter off Love Island, and I've seen it happen with a few other people. When people are dead, people suddenly start being nice. But when they're alive, people can be complete arseholes. It's almost like when people die, they become a hero and not unappreciated, and they weren't appreciated when they were alive. Now, that wasn't the case with Gary Speed, because he was loads of people loved him and he was a great footballer. But, in the modern world, so many people face so much abuse that they never used to face, and that's why I said on my tweet this morning that if you ever do feel down or anything, try and focus on the good things. There's some good people out there that can help you, but God, there are some absolute vile people out there who I actually, in the case of myself, I think actually they would like it if I was dead, and that's sometimes a little bit of a well, it was a few years ago. That was a bit of a battle for me. It does impact on your mental health. It doesn't bother me now because I just know that there's just some nasty people out there. But and on the question of mental health, it's a battle for everybody, and some people have different levels of what can get them. But certainly speaking to people is really, really important. And it was very happy to put that tweet out today because I really did like Gary Speed, and there's so many things going on at the moment that is to try and make the world better. The taking the knee and all sorts of discussions about immigration and diversity and equality. But men's mental health is something that's really important as well, and I know that November's about that as well. So yeah, it's important. But you know what? There's some absolute scumbags out there. There really are. I mean, it's funny because every time I go on Sky, they put a tweet out, and I was talking to the producer about this, and he was like, God, does it not get on your nerves when we put the tweet out that you're coming on, and people are like calling you the Forest fan and this, that and the other, and I'm like, it doesn't bother me at all anymore. Human values are diminishing each day, Mark, says Suham. And even as a Liverpool fan, I love you, Mark, says Chris. I find it funny because as soon as that tweet goes out that I'm going on Sky, I don't even need to read the replies. Oh, Sky's in the mud. Well, why have you got him on? He's a Forest fan. He's not even from Manchester. Oh, he got sacked from his previous job. Is there any other lie I could put up with? You know, I'm just like, one, they're vile, horrible people who've got vile, horrible lives, and two, they believe lies. I mean, they must be a fraudster's wet dream because they will believe lies. And I think just let them crack on because they cannot be people that drag your mental health down. Do not let your mental health get dragged down by losers, effectively, because let them wallow in their own pity. And I would actually say they've got mental health issues that they need to address. So, you know, in the spirit of being equal, I actually feel sorry for these people who are horrible to people online because they've clearly got problems themselves and they should seek help. The world's a better place when you put a smile on it. Anyway, 1-0 to Southampton. Not really. 1-0 to Liverpool. Still 0-0 Crystal Palace and Villa. Do you think Liverpool will learn from Ollie and not go for Gerrard or just see how it does at Villa? So when Klopp leaves, says Connor T. The thing about Steven Gerrard and Liverpool is it's very different to the situation that Manchester United had with Solskjaer. Solskjaer at Cardiff was crap. Like, he was crap. And, you know, even when I wanted Ollie to do well, I couldn't ever use Cardiff. You know, it had to be Mulder. Like, Cardiff was crap. He changed the team. He got a lot of players. Even when they got relegated, they were still crap in the Championship. He was crap at Cardiff. At Mulder, he did all right, but he was crap at Cardiff. Now, look at Steven Gerrard. Rangers, done ridiculously well at Rangers. They've not won a title in a long time. Yeah, they were on the bounce back anyway, but it's still the first man to win the title since all their problems. He's now going to Villa. Now, if he does well at Villa, which isn't an easy club to do well at, tell me the last Villa manager that did well. Like, you know, I can't think of many. I mean, John Gregory was okay. Brian Little was okay. Ron Atkinson was okay. But it's hard to do well at Villa. If Steven Gerrard does well at Villa, then that is very different for Liverpool to take Gerrard. Because what Gerrard's got to do... I don't think Chelsea going for Lampard was a mistake. You try it, if it doesn't work, they were ruthless. But I don't think Liverpool need to worry about the Solskjaer factor. Having said that, Martin O'Neill's another one from Villa as well. It's Gerrard versus Vieira. Yes, I'm keeping an eye on it, Brutus, don't worry. Having said that, I would say this, if anyone's interested and is a Liverpool fan, I never want Manchester United to go back and have an ex-player in charge again. Sentimentality causes a massive problem. And what I would say is Liverpool, after Klopp goes, if you've got a choice between a Ten Hag type and a Gerrard type, you're probably going to go with Gerrard. I would actually say go with Ten Hag, because if it goes wrong with Ten Hag, you'll say it's gone wrong and you'll want him out. If it starts going wrong with Gerrard, you'll get lost in sentimentality of, oh, but it's Gerrard. I can't moan. And that's the problem. That is the problem with going with ex-players, is the sentimental thing can hold you back. Thoughts on Jones overlasting 4 managers, says Rivan. Well, you know, he's got to get fit first, doesn't he, Phil Jones, and then he can go. But yellow card here in the Liverpool game. I think Liveramento's just been booked. Dean Smith did quite well, yeah. I always liked Martin O'Neill at Villa. He did really, really well, yeah. Loving the chat that's going on. But yeah, the only experience I can give you, having had an ex-player in charge of United, is that we used to speak about it before Solskjaer, and a lot of us used to quite like the idea. Oh, this would be great. And you know, I was there. There's a bloody video of me outside Old Trafford. Show that to the fucking haters. They'll think it's a green screen. I'm there. I get lost in a crowd. I'm having an interview, and then they start singing Ollie's at the wheel. I start jumping down, and you know, when there's a crowd there, I disappear. My hand's there, still going Ollie's at the wheel. And I think that, you know, I did want it to happen, but you learn from your mistakes. And as I say, the problem is, what a goal by Liverpool. 2-0, Mane, whoever said, oh, apparently offside. Lovely cross. I think it was Robertson with the cross. And Mane. A lot of people said Mane would score, but it's offside. Lovely header from a cross from the left-hand side, but it's been ruled out as offside. And, I mean, somebody said he's way off. I don't think he's way off. He's off by about half a metre. But, yeah, it remains 1-0. But, yeah, as I was saying, having had the ex-player, if you've been watching United stand for the last week, I am absolutely over the moon to hit a reset and have nothing to do with it. And I don't... It's funny, we've not heard from Gary Neville yet. We've not heard from what he thinks or these ex-players think yet. I'll laugh my head off if they're actually not happy about it, because you will notice if they're not happy about it. You think about what they were like with Van Gaal and Mourinho. I don't know what they think, but do they prefer it when it's somebody they know? Or do they not like it when it's somebody in their club that they don't know? Oh, I bloody love it. I absolutely love it. Are you doing Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury watch-along? When is it? Is it tonight? Tonight. When is it? Matthew McFadden says Christmas has come early. I hope you're doing well, Matthew. And yeah, Gary has been very quiet considering he's tweeting about politics and, you know, things like that. But yeah, Saturday the 18th of December. Yeah, I probably will do that, actually. Probably will do that. I quite like the boxing. I'm looking forward to... make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, because we did the Super Bowl on here. I like doing these sort of big events. So, yeah, we'll do that. We did Fury as well, didn't we? Still 0-0 between Crystal Palace and Villa, and I think it's still 0-0 in the game between your Norwich and Wolves. Just to give you a little bit of an update in relation to that. Villa are actually playing marginally better than Palace at the moment. Liverpool are really getting into it. Interestingly, in Norwich and Wolves, Wolves have had more possession, but Norwich have had more shots. We're still very early in that game. Robbo's on fire today, says Uma. What are you getting off Santa for Christmas, says Jack? I don't know. I don't know. I am going to be doing Goldbridge Cook's Christmas dinner. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that. Going to have a Christmas party. Which no, not just me. I will actually be streaming it. Rangnick to Man United. When do you think it will be announced? Possibly tonight. Probably Monday now. I think Monday makes sense. The players will be off. He can start work. We've got a goal for Villa. I told you. I sensed that there was something going on for Villa. I was right. It's 1-0 to Villa. I don't know who scored the goal yet, but 1-0 Villa is the scoreline. And I think it's... well, we're just waiting to see. Targay, the best French left-back in the league. Oh, it's a lovely goal. Oh, the French superstar's done it. What a goal. Corner comes in, drops to him on the back post, but there's still a lot to do, and he just arrows it low past the keeper, and it's 1-0 to Aston Villa. And he's didn't he do well? And I just don't know when Deschamps is not going to pick him up. I mean, I live in the Midlands, and he's massively underrated, and I think he's up there with Digne for me. I think he's fantastic. But good goal for Targay, good goal for Villa. Two goals early on. Liverpool are 1-0 up against Southampton, and now Villa under Gerrard. The Gerrard Revolution. 1-0 away to a very good Palace, well, a very informed Palace side. In fact, United are playing them in a couple of weeks. The French Roberto Carlos, says Dan Simpson. And it's 1-0 to Aston Villa, who were pushing. And, you know, that bounce that we talk about is definitely there, isn't it? Villa with the bounce under Steven Gerrard. And, yeah. People who think he's English are clowns, says Josh. They just don't know. They're outing themselves as not really being in the know. They're confused. So a couple of early. I'm bloody cold. It is cold here today. We had snow this morning, but my legs are cold, so I'm thinking there's a door open somewhere, or the heating's not on. Get that heating on. What degrees do you have your heating on at? Because, hey, come on. There's no way it's that. Whoa! There's a draft coming in here somewhere. I'm convinced of it. Let me just check this out. I'm absolutely convinced there's a draft somewhere. What, are you freezing, mate? I don't get it. Oh, that's your problem. You need to be on a lot more. Get on proper. Warm me up, you bitch. No, I'm not talking to you. We're back. Ireland's freezing today. Yeah, I think it's going to be a cold day. So 1-0. Just the Villa goal is it's so well taken by Targay, and I did see the snow this morning. ABC, yeah. Thermostat high, but radiator on low, Mark. That's exactly what happened, Chris. Well heard, well spotted. Be a big win for Villa this though, if they can get 6 points from Brighton and Crystal Palace. If you know, you know. 6 points from Crystal Palace and Brighton is good any day of the week. Cristiano, you're blocked. Piss off. Bye. See you later. Don't shut the door on the way out. I think you think you're a comedian. It's not funny. God, we've got nearly 9,000 watching. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right hand corner to do that. We're trying to get up to 600k by Christmas. Everybody's welcome on this channel, of course. Do lots of different things on here, but it is for everybody. So please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Newcastle are getting relegated. I spoke about that, Himanshu. I really do think that they're going to get relegated. Yeah, I do. Cardiff are beating Luton 1-0, says Harley Jones. Well done to Cardiff. I must have a look at the Championship, actually. Just while nothing's going on in each game. Crystal Palace have got a free kick here, but I have been very ignorant about the Championship this year. I suspect Fulham are doing well and Bournemouth are doing well, but obviously I'm doing my FIFA career mode, which is create a club with United Stand, and we're in the Championship. So Fulham and Bournemouth are actually top and second to top. Fulham top with 43 and Bournemouth second with 42, and then there's a long way back to everybody else. 34 points for West Brom, 33 points for Coventry, and then Queen's Park Rangers, Stoke and Blackburn are sort of hanging around the playoffs. So Fulham and Crystal Palace look like they're going to waltz it, to be honest with you. Yeah, Sheffield United not doing particularly well. Derby right at the bottom. They're looking like they're going to go down. So yeah, but Fulham and Bournemouth look like they're heading back to the Premier League. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Hi Mark, I can't watch the matches. It's not allowed, says AJ. And Fulham are going straight back, says Advath Warrior. Are you going to do a City versus West Ham watch along tomorrow? Probably not, because I will be live at... I will watch it, but we will be live on the United Stand at 3:15. So basically I'll be watching the second half on United Stand. So yeah, there's a lot. Just talking about that though. Do I like Fulham, Mark, says Joseph? I wouldn't say I'm a massive fan of Fulham. I find Fulham a little bit... I'm almost at the point where I would reduce the Premier League to 18 teams. Oh, he's so elitist. But there are certain teams in it that, like Michiel says, Fulham are a bit of a yo-yo club, really. So, I don't like the Norwichers and I suppose you could put Newcastle in this category now. Teams that are just there to get beat. So Villa with a bit of a penalty shout there on Watkins. I don't know whether it's going to get reviewed. But yeah, Fulham are a team that's going to come up and just get relegated again, aren't they? That's my problem. If there was a problem, I'll solve it. Check out the hook and the DJ revolves it. Rice, baby. Could Watford stay up? Well, you wouldn't have thought so, but I think after what happened last week against Manchester United, probably giving themselves a good chance. As they stop, collaborate and listen. Oh, did you see me on Sky today? So I was really good on Sky, but then they do this game at the end where basically if I was to give you a topic, let's take two of you, Alex Ward and Only Football. If I said to you, right, the topic is Southampton on the break, good save by Alisson, 1-1. That's not 1-1, it could have been 1-1. So if I said to you two, the topic is strikers in the Premier League, how many can you name? And Alex said, I'll name 15. And One Football thought, well, I don't think I can name 15. I can, 16. And then Alex goes, I don't think I can name 17, so you do it. If you can't do it, you get a point. If he does do it, he gets a point. So I was doing that on Sky Sports today, and I absolutely bottled Premier League ground names, because the challenge was set to name, I think it was 12. And I was like, oh, I'll be able to do 12 easy. But then I was just like, you've only got 30 seconds to do it. I was just like, you know how the brain works. It was giving me the wrong names. Like I was thinking, White Hart Lane. Well, that's not called that anymore. St James's Park. That's not called that anymore. St Mary's. I don't think Southampton's called St Mary's anymore. I think it actually is called St Mary's, isn't it? That's my brain taking the piss. I thought it was the Dell. The Films one's the worst. It's called Liar. That's what it's called. The Films one is the worst. I've retired. I'm so embarrassed by it. I've retired from watching films. We meant to be going to the cinema tonight. That's off. But yeah, 3 Point Lane. Oh, Arsenal were always going to win today, 100%. The films one was disappointing because I should have got 40. I should have been able to do 40 films in 30 seconds. Just ridiculous. I said Fratton Park as well. And I was thinking of bloody Burnley's ground. What's Burnley's ground called? And I was thinking, is it Fratton Park? It's not. It's Griffin Park, isn't it? Yeah, I should have tried adult films, Ryan. Thank you. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. We've got nearly 10,000 watching, which is fantastic. So, what watch-alongs are you doing this week? Goldbridge was the question, to which the answer is obviously Man United Chelsea tomorrow at 4:30. I'd love to do one of the 2 o'clock kickoffs, but they're too close to the 4:30 kickoff. There's no Monday night football, but Tuesday night, Newcastle against Norwich and Leeds against Palace. Not really interested. But Wednesday night we will be doing a watch along because it's Everton against Liverpool at 8:15. But I might start a little bit early because I'm quite interested in I'm interested in Villa Man City as well. But we'll definitely be doing Everton against Liverpool. So Chelsea Watford could be interesting. And Thursday night, 8:15 kickoff. Why they kick them off at 8:15? Only Amazon know. Manchester United against Arsenal on Thursday night. Friday night is a massive game in the Championship. It's Fulham against Bournemouth. And then back on Saturday, we've got Premier League football and West Ham play Chelsea at 12:30. I think that'll be a big game. I'll do that. And I might follow through and do Wolves against Liverpool. I'll see how I feel. But definitely West Ham against Chelsea at 12:30. And then next Sunday, Man United are playing Palace at 2 o'clock, which I think will be an interesting one. And then we're well into December. But Monday night football next week is Everton Arsenal. I'll do that. So Lots of lots. Then we're back into the Champions League, aren't we? Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. So it's still 1-0 to Villa and it's still 1-0 to Liverpool after 26 minutes. I don't know why I didn't get Turf more. I was thinking about it in the taxi on the way home. It's a good game, that Liar, though. Because it's not about what you know. It's about how your brain compartmentalises things. Because if I said to you, name 18 Manchester United players in 30 seconds, you'll be able to do it in a minute if I give you a pen and paper. But how your brain works through it, like the way I did it, I think I had to name 16 United players in 30 seconds, and I did 16 in 16 seconds because I just went through the starting lineup and then the subs. Piece of piss. Done. But if you just start going Ronaldo, Rashford, Maguire, it's disorganised, and that's where you go into problems, really. So, you know, you need to do it in that way. Well, whilst it's 1-0, Southampton have got a chance, but Liverpool have been the better side. Definitely. I love this time of year. Yeah. I love it. I'm not a massive fan of the cold, but I like the dark autumnal nights, the approach to Christmas, football, all that. Love it. Yeah. Seb's not here at the moment, Jerry L, so you can't see him. You might see him he might come back soon, but he's down the pub. It's not. I like the cold when I'm wrapped up in bed warm. But, yeah. There's a yellow card for Zaha now. Quite a tasty game at the moment between Liverpool and... Sorry, not Liverpool and Southampton. Aston Villa and Palace. Jota scored for Liverpool. And Targay, the French superstar left-back, scored for Villa. So 1-0 in both those games. Still 0-0 between Norwich and Wolves. I can tell you what's going on in that game at the moment. And what is going on in that game is that Wolves have had 66% possession, but Norwich have had 4 shots to Wolves 1. So lots of possession and not a lot going on in that game at the moment. Around the Grand Championship, we have got a goal in there. Cardiff beating Luton 1-0. Swansea and Reading are 1-1, and Middlesbrough are already 2-0 up against Huddersfield Town. I'll tell you what, very, very big thanks to Swexy for, he says, Italy or Portugal. What a bloody disgrace. What a bloody disgrace. On what day does Christmas start for you, says Jodie? Well, there's different levels to Christmas, isn't there? You know, when your tree should go up on the 1st of December, I think, and then just enjoy the month. Why England fans don't protest against FA for handling of national teams, such an amazing talent but terrible managers and underachieving results. Well, yeah. Leicester Napoli, maybe. Loser goes to the conference, says Jack. And that's the week after next. Love your videos, says Chronic. Yeah, I'm not going to read the rest. But yeah, so Italy and Portugal, one of them's not going to the World Cup. But not only that, out of Italy, Portugal and Turkey, only one of them's going to the World Cup. Because Portugal have got to play Turkey in a playoff, and then they'll probably have to play Italy in the final. Whereas Wales and Scotland could end up playing each other for a playoff in the final. It's just ridiculous. It's like certain groups are easier than others. I just think it's a bit of a joke. Italy weren't at the last World Cup either, says Dylan. I just don't like that. And people will say, well, it's fair, but it's not fair, is it? Because the draw is luck of the draw. Like, they've not seeded the draw, and they should do. You shouldn't have a situation where Italy and Portugal could be playing for a place in the World Cup, but Scotland and Wales could be playing for a place in the World Cup. Scotland and Wales are nowhere near as good as those two teams. So I think the tournament's weaker for not having those two teams in it. It's the World Cup and you want the best teams in it. Do you think Arsenal will finish above United this season, says Lou? I think it's a massive game. on. It's 2-0 to Liverpool, by the way. 2-0 to Liverpool. I think it's Jota again. 2-0 Liverpool. It is Jota. He's on a hat-trick. That probably puts the game beyond Southampton already, to be honest. Training ground goal for Liverpool. Liverpool looking very, very good again. Salah to Henderson. Back to Salah and Jota. If you've got Salah in your team, another assist for him. Good play between Henderson and Salah, and as you said, it was a training ground goal. Both goals for Liverpool have been very, very simple in the sense that they've the passing is, it's not been, they've not had to work hard. They've just played the right pass, and Southampton haven't picked up the runners. Why is Goldbridge trending? Is Goldbridge trending for you? Oh, I hate it when I trend. Oh, I'm not trending now. Oh, I am. Premier League trending, Goldbridge. I don't like to see that, because it'll be Goldbridge is a Forest fan. I wish Goldbridge was dead. Goldbridge is a twat. It'll just be horrible stuff. You never trend for nice reasons. Makes me feel a bit sad, actually. It's not nice, but I don't like it when I'm trending, because it will just be a load of bollocks, and it will just be more people who swallow the lies and then think it's all right to have a pop at somebody. And look, I'll never do it, but imagine tomorrow if they woke up to Goldbridge is trending because he's done something. A lot of them would probably cheer, but it would be on them. It would be down to their bullying and lies, because that's what it is. It's bullying and lies at the end of the day. They get you trending on bullying and lies, and then if you did end up doing something that ended it all, they'd justify it in their head. Well, he shouldn't have been pretending to be a United fan when he was a Forest fan, which he wasn't, and the reason he got depressed and did what he did is because you spread the lies about him. The world's a vile place, really is. Anyway, look, let's get back to the football. 2-0 to Liverpool. Looks like they've gone and got a very. I mean, what's Liverpool's next few? I mean, Liverpool have really clicked in, and I say really clicked in because they only took 1 point from 6 against Brighton and West Ham, but obviously they've won their last 2. In a way, it's exciting, but I do think it's going to be Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City in a 3-way. Exciting. 3-ways can be very exciting. It's not. It can. But Liverpool's next few fixtures is what I wanted to have a look at, and they've got after today. Because for me, Liverpool, it's very much about January. I know Klopp had his controversial topic about the African nations. Everton on Wednesday night is going to be a big game for them. I think they'll have too much for Everton. Then they've got Villa, which is obviously Gerrard's return, which is another one that's not on the telly and they can't move it. Remind me about that. Then they've got Newcastle, then they've got Spurs, then they've got Leicester, Leeds, and then Leicester again. Well, they've got Leicester in the EFL Cup. So you can see Liverpool going on a big run again, can't you, really? You can see them going on a big run. Yeah, if you want to go on Twitter and put a nice comment with the word Goldbridge in it, that would be nice, yeah? There's a lot of you watching, so if you want to say something nice, if you want to tweet something nice with the word Goldbridge in it, that would be very much appreciated. But yeah, I don't feel you have to. Favourite Christmas movie, and yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, says Scott Jones. I mean, I'm a big fan of Home Alone. It's still 1-0 in the Villa Palace game, but Jota nearly got his hat-trick there. With all the talent, Portugal should never be in the World Cup playoffs in the first place. Portuguese Ollie bottled it, says Carl. Yeah, well, you make a good point. You do make a good point. Have a stretch, Mark, says Xavier. Yeah, but I was just going to say that Jota should have made it a hat-trick. Villa against Liverpool is in a couple of weeks' time, but it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. And that is quite interesting because it's not a televised game. Now, this happened with United and Newcastle. It's 3-0. It's 3-0 to Liverpool, and it's Thiago. And my prediction is going in the wind because this could end up being 9. Southampton do get beat 9-0 quite regularly, and it could be another 9-0. Thiago shot. I wouldn't say it was a great goal. I thought it deflected. I don't think it does deflect. I'm just waiting to find that out for you. But Thiago takes it down. Yeah, it does deflect. It does deflect. Yeah, I think the keeper would have saved it. It wasn't anywhere near as good as the goal the other day, but he's certainly finding a bit of form for Thiago, isn't he? So 3-0 to Liverpool, and they're looking. It could be a matter of how many they get now. They're pumping Southampton convincingly at the moment. It did deflect, says Advath Warrior. Does anyone know who got the assist on that? I've got a feeling it was either Henderson or Jota. But if anyone knows who assisted, let us know. I don't think there was an assist. But Southampton, they've changed Southampton on FIFA 22 this year. They're a harder team to beat, but the last couple of years against Southampton, you really could beat them 7 or 8-0. I always used to look forward to playing them. I hope he doesn't, but if Ralph fails, do you think players will turn on him because he's demanding? He does. If he does, will his impact as a consultant get reduced, as Sandy J? Well, yeah, anyone can get the sack. Solskjaer got a 3-year contract in the summer. He's not here now. If you fail, you fail. I was going to type, why are Southampton so bad? And then I realised they're just 3 points behind United. So Sharath Kamath Fitness, yeah, well, we're really bad. 4 points from 21 is relegation form, isn't it, at the end of the day? But look, let me just finish what I was saying. So Villa are playing Liverpool in a couple of weeks' time. On the 8th of I think it's the 11th. Yeah, Liverpool Villa are playing on the 11th of December. Now that is Gerrard at Anfield, and the TV companies would love to show it, but they've already picked their games. And I think there needs to be some flexibility, because this happened with Manchester United when we bought Ronaldo. His first game was against Newcastle, and the TV companies were going mad because they wanted to be able to show Ronaldo's return, but they couldn't do it because they picked their games a month in advance. So the games for January will come out very early in December that they're going to televise, but that doesn't give them any wiggle room. And obviously, lots of people would like to see Liverpool play Villa, so yeah, they can't show it. Why are there non-televised games? Never knew, says Tom. Yeah, if you don't live in the UK, we have a rule in place that you cannot show any game, let alone UK games, between I think it's 2:30 and 5:30. It's I can't remember what they call it. It's embargo. So you can't do it. So a few years ago, they had El Clasico on at 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. We couldn't show it on Sky. So it's not just Premier League games. It's all games. Hi Mark, thanks for the welcome distraction from my Industrial Revolution essay, says Camissa. No, I like doing these. It's good. I like doing them. I like it when there's a few games that we can keep an eye on. Basically, if you live in the UK, you can't watch. You can't get games on at 3 o'clock, and the reason they do it, as Izza says, why, is because they think the only reason they do it, right? They think that if you are a Liverpool fan and they put Liverpool against Southampton on the telly, they think Liverpool fans, if you don't put it on the telly and you don't go to the game, you might go and watch Tranmere Rovers, which has actually had their game called off anyway, so the joke's on them. But they think it impacts lower league attendances. But I've supported United all my life, and when United are not on the telly, I'll listen to it on the radio. I mean, I remember United. If someone can tell me the year, I think it might have been 2003. We were 3-0 down at half time against Spurs, White Hart Lane, and we won 5-3. That was not on the telly. I had to listen to that on the radio, and I looked forward to Match of the Day that night. But it just doesn't. It's just stupid. It's a stupid rule, and football would make a lot more money if it could show games. What should happen is that every football team in the Premier League should have a TV pass, because there's more than 60,000 Liverpool fans in England, and they can't all watch the game at the same time. So you are depriving them watching their club. Whereas if they had a TV pass that they paid maybe £100 for, and a percentage of that went to the lower league clubs, that would help anyway. So yeah, still 1-0 in Palace and Villa, 3-0 to Liverpool here. It's an archaic rule, JT, that shouldn't exist anymore. But nobody wants to do anything about it. Like, nobody wants to do anything about it. It's really frustrating. You don't get Gary Neville or anyone else, moaning about this. Obviously, Gary Neville wouldn't moan about it because he owns Salford from League Two, who probably quite like a 3 o'clock kickoff when United or City are not playing, so that they can get people going to watch them. So, people always scrub their own back, don't they? Well, actually, it's hard to scrub your own back. Spidey Bats says, hi, Mark. Hi, pal. It's called the 3 p.m. blackout, says Shub. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. We've got 10,000 people watching. Liverpool have got a corner here. Villa, very impressively, 1-0 up at the moment. I believe it's still 0-0 between Norwich and Wolves, in which it is. You could see that being 0-0, actually. Wolves have got this really big problem with scoring goals, haven't they? It's been a problem of theirs for many, many, many games this season. I mean, they lost their first 3 games of the season. Boo 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 boo. I say stop, collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new adventure or something. Gotta call to me tightly, daily and nightly. If you're gonna stop, yo, I don't know. I think it's very interesting the way that Gerrard has set his team up. Good save by Alisson there. Southampton can't even score when they get half a chance. And it was a good chance, and it was a good shot. Looks like Villa might have a penalty here. Hi, Mark. Will Ralph be available for Arsenal? Oswald, I really, really hope so. I think it'll be very harsh if that's given to Villa. Mark, you look tired. I was up at R5 today. Great save by Alisson. The penalty's not been given to Villa, by the way. Great save by Alisson. It's a corner for Southampton. Got dumped by my girlfriend, says Gus, last week, and you've helped me be company in the last week, Mark. You help a lot of people and ignore the hate, says Gus Scott. Wait a minute. Bad pass by Salah, says Ryan. They've broke away again from the corner, Liverpool, and he's tried to cut it back, and it would have been Jota's hat-trick, but he's messed it up. That should have been 4, says Dan, and he's absolutely right. What should we do as the topic at half-time? You could set me a challenge to see how many I can name in 30 seconds. Give me a topic and I'll see how many I can name in 30 seconds. And if I get it, I get the point. And if you get it, you get the point. I'll explain that in a minute. But you'll have to give me a topic. Like, it could be Premier League right backs or something like that. Chocolate bars. I like that one. But we've got to do it instantaneously, because if I said chocolate bars, I'd be thinking about them now. You've got to do it off the top of your head. If you do films again, I won't fail if I do films again. I've even got a timer. I can even hold the timer up like that and just go start. See, so we can do that. We'll do that at half time. That'll be a bit of a laugh. Can try and get some back. Please subscribe, by the way. Hey Mark, how many TV brands can you name in 30 seconds? Love from Dublin, says Paddy. TV brands. Do clothes brands. Parlour games with Goldbridge. Mark Rangnick is selling Van der Beek next January. No, he's not. Check out the United stand. I did a video an hour ago. Half time in the Liverpool game. So let me just stop the clock. Stop, reset, and I think it's half time in the other game as well. Very impressive from Liverpool. 3-0 up at half time. Palace and Villa are still going on, but it'd be very, very interesting if Villa were to win, because Palace have been very, very good this season. How long's Eze injured for? Does anyone know? How long is Eze injured for? No. So we are at half time now. Targay with the goal, and that's where we're at. Let's have a quick look. So we go. Okay, so it's half time. 3-0 to Liverpool, 1-0 to Villa. Very impressive from Liverpool and Villa. Salah now top scorer and assist. Liverpool have top 3 scorers in the league. When Liverpool are at full strength, it's very difficult to stop them, says Finn. And Mark, how many characters from the US office can you name in 30 seconds? My girlfriend timed me and I got 19. I could probably only do about 5. Michael Scott, Dwight, Pam. I can't remember what the bloody... Kevin, Toby. What's the one with the glasses? I can't even remember what Pam's boyfriend's called. I'm thinking Tim, but that's the UK office. You see, this is what I do. My mind starts going. Ignore the bit of Twitter gremlins, Mark, says Ryder. Yeah, okay. I think with just very, very quickly on the Premier League though, Chelsea, Manchester City and Liverpool, I think it's going to be very interesting. Jim, that was his name. Jim. Where'd you draw the line? T. But I think it's going to be very interesting in the Premier League race, because I watched Liverpool entertain Chelsea a couple of months ago and I thought Chelsea played fantastically well, and obviously they had a man sent off, Reece James. So, but then I saw Man City go to Chelsea and really deserve to win at Stamford Bridge, which they did, which is Chelsea's only loss. Then you watch Liverpool like today and you think they're unstoppable, but then they lost at West Ham and deserved to lose, and Brighton deserved a point. So I think it's going to be a very interesting season, but I do agree with you. I think Liverpool, Chelsea and Man City are on a level that other teams are not at the moment. So yeah, I think it's going to be very, very interesting to see how it works out. And I really wanted Manchester United to be part of that conversation, but we're not part of that conversation this season. So, we can't pretend that we are at this moment in time. City are going to thrash Man City tomorrow. So City are going to thrash West Ham tomorrow. Yeah, I think City at the moment, David Lloyd. I think what are Man City's next few games? Because I think the only team that worries me is Man City. That they last season did this. They're the sort of team that could just find form and disappear. They've got West Ham, Villa, Watford, Wolves, Leeds, Newcastle, Leicester, Brentford, And you sort of look at City and you think, well, when are they going to drop? When are they not going to win a game? And that's the trouble with City. They can just, I mean, look, they've had a lot of injuries against PSG, and they had no problems with PSG. Newcastle, Chelsea's next few games: Man United, Watford, West Ham away. That'll be very difficult next Saturday. I'll do a watch along for that. Leeds at home, Everton at home, Wolves away, Brentford, Villa, Brighton. And you know, that's the thing now. You do look at Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester City, and you do sort of feel like, well, where are they going to drop points? Where are they going to drop points? I think that's very interesting. Right, okay, I'm going to hold up the timer, and we're going to have a little bit of a half-time game, and this is going to be a bit of fun. I'm going to bring this into my Christmas party as well. I need some games for the Christmas party, which is going to be live. It's going to be live from Goldbridge's kitchen with Christmas lights and drink, and we're going to have a bit of a fun night. I haven't decided what night yet. After the Arsenal game, United don't play any of the top 6 for 13 games. Could be a good game to start the run, says Raz. Thank you very much, Raz. Thanks for the super chats. And Tom Rotherham says, if Targett had scored before the international break, he might have been called up. He's got... Deschamps is a bloody joke. Targett should be in the squad. It really, really pisses me off. I just don't understand why not. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. So, 10 Al Pacino films in 30 seconds. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do 10. Yeah, I can't do it. I tell you what. Name me a position in the Premier League, and I will name 15 in 30 seconds. So any position you want, name me a position and I will name 15 in 30 seconds. Are you ready? Goalkeepers, go. De Gea, Mendy, Alisson, Ederson, Lloris, Ramsdale, Pickford, Murier at Leeds, Martinez, Schmeichel, McCarthy, Sanchez, Gaeta, 13. And I probably got the Leeds one wrong as well. It's difficult because you start looking at the clock, and the reality is, I know, like, I've missed out. I've listened. Who did I miss out? Norwich, Krul. Who else did I miss out? Newcastle's goalkeeper. Who I can't think who it is even now. Is it Dubravka? Watford, Ben Foster. You know, there's so many. Nick Pope. There's loads I could have. This is the thing. And I was going for first team goalkeepers. I'm not going to say Jordan Henderson. So that's what I mean. And you try doing that on live TV as well. Everyone has a pop at you, but it's difficult. That's a good one. So I got 13. That's a point to you lot. First to three. Okay. Give me something else. You can play yourself as well, but you get the point as the viewer. It's Goldbridge versus the viewer. So give me something else that I can do. I'm not doing 20. I can't do 20. You know, I can't do 20. Right backs in the Premier League. Or, well, no, wingers would be a bit easy. I could probably do, I think I could do 20 centre backs in 30 seconds. Should we try that? 3, 2, 1, go. Where is it? Got to turn it on first. 20 centre-backs in 30 seconds. So, let's go. Rudiger, Christensen, Silva, Maguire, Lindelof, Varane, Matip, Gomez, Van Dijk, Kanate, White, Holding, Gabriel, Alderweireld, Sanchez, Dyer. What other clubs haven't I done? Sionku, Ogbonna, Evans, Hanley. How many did I do? I think I did 20 as well, didn't I? I think I just missed out. Alderweireld went. You didn't do it. So I think did I get 14 or 19? That's very hard. I'm not as good as this as I thought. That's 2-0 to you lot. And I also didn't count very well either. "15 managers in 30 seconds. Okay, now this is going to be very difficult. Clear. Okay. Stop. Reset. Okay, 15 managers. Tuchel, Arteta, Pep, Carrick at the moment, Conte, Klopp, Rodgers, Moyes, Bielsa, Bruno Lage, Dean Smith, Steven Gerrard. Fucked it up again. Potter, Ranieri. 14. It is difficult. The time flies. And I'm under pressure. You've won anyway. Best of 5. You've won. I'm not very good at this. I'm not very good at this at all. But if you were trying to do it in front of 10,000 people or a live TV, I'd challenge you to do it in 30 seconds. The time goes very, very quickly. How many Marvel movies can you name? Iron Man 1, 2, 3. I don't watch Marvel, so I don't really know. Andy Carroll scored for Reading. I didn't even know he was there. And Burnley's chairman in the 60s was responsible for the 3 p.m. blackout. Burnley spoil everything. I tweeted you about it, says the Hawked Vlogs. Great. It's always bloody Burnley. I mean, but you know, this is it. Like, this is the problem with football. Like, they try and change things like, let's have a 25-minute half-time so we can have more adverts and get more revenue. But they don't go, let's stop the 3 p.m. blackout in UK so that TV games can be shown to people who can't go to the game. I mean, look, my issue with this is, if Arsenal and the Emirates, if Arsenal are kicking off at 3 o'clock against, I don't know, Newcastle, and it's not on the TV, 12:30, fine, it's on the TV, they can watch it. Arsenal at home to Newcastle at 3 o'clock today, can't be on the TV because you can't have a 3 p.m. game on in the UK. 60,000 capacity. 60,000 people can go to that game. What about the possible... I mean, how many million Arsenal fans do you think there are in the UK? Probably 1 million. Maybe a bit less because there's a lot of other clubs. But certainly more than 60,000. Let's say there's 600,000 Arsenal fans. Maybe there's 1 million. That's less than 10% of your fan base can actually watch you play football because of a rule that was put in place for the 60s. Because they think... those 90% of Arsenal fans in the UK who can't watch it on the telly are going to think, you know what, I might go and watch Leyton Orient. They're fucking not going to go and watch Leyton Orient. They're going to find another way of watching it, or they're going to listen to it on the radio. And you know, get with the times. Stop coming up with rules about, you know, kick-ins and 15-minute, 25-minute half-times, and start thinking, you know what, if we came up with a TV pass for Arsenal fans in the UK and charged them £100, but they could watch every single game throughout the season on a pass, like you can do with WWE Pass and all that, we'd make shitloads of money, and we could probably give Leyton Orient 2 million. Like, you know, it's so obvious what needs to be done. Every football club should be able to have a pass for their football team, and even Championship clubs could do it as well. Because you know what, there might be QPR not on the telly, but can't be asked to go to the game, can't go to the game. Whatever. Nothing will change the brilliance of matchday experience. People travel all over the world, all over the country to watch their game. There's nothing that beats. And if you've never done it, if you're an Arsenal fan or whoever and you've never been to watch Arsenal or Liverpool or anything like that, you should try and do it. It's not always easy for some people. I know you're other side of the world, it's expensive, but nothing can beat the experience of matchday experience. And, you know, I really miss it because I don't get to do it as much as I used to. But no fan should miss their team playing football, and that's the problem we have in England, English football at the moment, is that this archaic, silly rule about 3 p.m. kickoffs not being able to be shown on the TV because they think people are going to get up and go and watch their local bloody National League or League One side. No, and that's about money anyway. The reality is the reason they want Arsenal fans to go and watch Leyton Orient if they're not on the telly is because it's money for Leyton Orient. Sell a season ticket pass worldwide for everybody else to watch every single game of their team, and then a percentage of that gets set up by the Premier League or whoever to go to those lower clubs. They get the money anyway, and then they have to find other ways to get their attendances up, which aren't by archaically depriving other football fans and forcing them into your ground, which they won't do anyway. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. You're very, very welcome. Name 3 midfield partnerships worse than McFred in 30 seconds. I'd need 30 hours. I can't think of any. And Mark, whether Rashford is good enough or not, the club will rather get rid of the before him because of what he's done for kids and stuff, says Marketing James. Yeah, there'd be a big problem if Rangnick came in and said, I don't want to play Marcus Rashford because I don't think he's good enough, because United, he's a massive marketing player, which is, look, Marcus Rashford's done a lot for Manchester United. Second half's kicked off, by the way. He's done a lot for Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford's done a lot for Manchester United, and yet Paul Pogba was offered 400k a week to stay, and what's he done in the last? Paul Pogba should not be getting offered a 400 grand a week contract. Why are United offering him a 400 grand a week contract? Because he's massively marketable, basically. Name 15 Oasis songs, says Gareth. I won't be able to do it in 30 seconds. I'll struggle to do it because it's hard to compartmentalise that. Some might say Roll With It, Live Forever, Slide Away, Master Plan, Champagne Supernova, Diggsy's Dinner, She's Electric, I Hope I Think I Know, Don't Look Back in Anger, Wonderwall, Rocking Chair, Listen Up, The Girl in the Dirty Shirt, Gas Panic. That's 15. Can you? And I probably got one or two that weren't actually the names of the songs, so I could probably give you some more if you wanted. And Stop Crying Your Heart Out. Yeah. Can you confirm the rumour that you'll be on Ted Lasso next season, having a meltdown on the watch-along after Richmond beats Manchester United, says David. It's not true. It's meant to be a game invented by the people for the people, but it's ph.uk, says Chris Hannigan. I wasn't reading. How would I read it? I know Oasis. I know Oasis. I didn't expect this from you, Mark. Pogba won his 3 trophies with goal contribution in every tournament, says Pog United. No, I like Paul Pogba. Everyone knows I like Paul Pogba, but he doesn't justify 400 grand a week. That would make him the big best paid player in our club behind Ronaldo. He hasn't justified that. Yotta's alright. I thought he might be going off injured then. What signing do you think Liverpool will get, says Envy. And Mark, is the coffee shop in Solihull called the Two Mugs, run by McFred, says Patrick. I didn't know there was one called that in Solihull, but it's funny actually, I nearly said McFred on Sky this morning, didn't I, if you watched it? But yeah, I think that's always an interesting conversation, and it's one we can get the chat involved in. Let's go through some clubs. What position or type of player do you think Liverpool... We'll go through a few clubs, but obviously I think it gets spoken about as you approach the summer or a transfer window. But what an interesting thing to discuss now at the end of November when we're not really thinking about transfers, but what player would be a good player if you could take one player to Liverpool that's not Messi or something like that, but what player do you think that Liverpool really would benefit from? And I'm caught in two minds really. I think an out number 9 that in the guise of a sort of I'm trying to think what sort of number 9 would suit Liverpool, but then I think a real superstar midfielder, box-to-box midfielder would be good as well, because Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago are good, but I feel that they lack like a Bellingham or Bellingham would be up and coming, a De Bruyne, that sort of a midfielder would work for them. But they're a little bit short in the front three, Liverpool, and they're a little bit short in the midfield. Renato Sanchez is a good one as well, Louis. Yeah. I think Bellingham would be very good. De Jong would be very good. Good shout by Jay. Rafinha as an attacker is a good one as well, Patrick. Andre Silva as a striker, Goretzka or Kimmich. Yeah, I think Liverpool would benefit from a strike from a I think there's a few at City. Gundogan would be brilliant for Liverpool, absolutely brilliant. He's brilliant for Man City, but Gundogan would be perfect. Yeah, a real superstar box to box. Tielemans is a good shout, and then you could move for The trouble is if you brought an Ismail Sarr in or an Mbappe. And I'm not comparing Sarr and Mbappe by any means, but if you brought or a Son, someone like that, are they going to play? I definitely think Liverpool need backup in that area, which they had with Origi and Shaqiri for a while, but they don't play, do they? So, yeah. So I think for me, Liverpool, if I was going to get anyone for Liverpool, I probably would go for that player that drops into the midfield and plays every week, alongside a Henderson and Fabinho or a Thiago and a Fabinho or whatever. So I would go for the more that midfield three, the more attacking one. So yeah, I think that there's a few that's been mentioned there that would be good. McTominay would be perfect, absolutely perfect. Still 1-0 to Villa in the game against Crystal Palace, which actually I say still, we've only had 5 minutes of the second half. Southampton 3-0 down against Liverpool. They already have Keita, says Hugo. Yeah, but Keita's not Kevin De Bruyne, is he? I think Liverpool will go for Jonathan David from Lille or Vlahovic from Fiorentina, says Mr. Majax. Crossed by Salah there. Man City is very easy. Man City is an out-and-out striker. Origi for Newcastle, too good for the bench, says Chris. Well, whether he's too good for the bench, Newcastle will be going down. They're not going to be able to bring in the sort of player that's going to massively benefit them, I don't think. Just saw something about Bruno there. I was just trying to find out where it was. 4-0 to Liverpool. 4-0 to Liverpool. I think it's Van Dijk from the edge of the box against his former club. He doesn't massively celebrate, but I don't know why you wouldn't. You forced your way out of the club, mate. So if you're trying to be respectable to them, he doesn't need to be. It was a few years ago. I think I'm just trying to see who gets the assist on this. Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's a bit similar to the Targay goal, to be honest. The cross comes in and it lands on the floor at his feet. I mean, it's not as good as Targay's, but it's a cross that comes in that lands low, and then he just whacks it in to make it 4-0. So you never know, if they keep the pressure up here, they could really go beyond 6. Van Dijk. I'll never forget when they bought him and I said they've spent 75 million on the Dutch Chris Smalling, which, to be honest with you, probably was a bit unfair. Bloody hell, my video on Sky has had 192,000 views already, ranking who's to blame at Manchester United. Nearly had as much as the Klopp interview. Goldbridge better than Klopp. Which I'm not. I mean, Southampton had a good chance there. Mark Griffiths, thank you very much for the super chat. I mean, to be fair, Southampton should have had a couple of goals. There's been a really good save by Alisson, and this chance is shit. Is it Armstrong? He's had 2 bites of the cherry and messed them both up. So, I mean, they shouldn't be anywhere near getting anything out of the game, but they could have had a couple of goals themselves. Chiesa to Liverpool would be good, says Jack. Yes. Yeah, we were talking about that. Man City for me, striker. You know, I know they were in for Harry Kane. I was intrigued to see whether Harry Kane would have actually worked at Manchester City, but they do need a striker. Manchester City, which sounds stupid when they're winning games without one, but an out-and-out striker for them that can link up the play as well would be big for them. Chelsea's difficult because I think Chelsea have got a really good squad. I don't know where you'd strengthen the Chelsea side. Man United and Arsenal, there's quite a few places to strengthen, and Spurs, but Chelsea, and out of the traditional six, fans and players collapsing everywhere, I think, says Vincent Clark, UK. I think there might be a red card in the Crystal Palace game, is there? Something's going on in the Crystal Palace game, I don't know. Somebody's on. What's happened with the player collapsing? I don't know what this is all about. I'm not reading the room at all. So yellow card. No, so Sahar has not been sent off. There's a foul on Sahar. Yeah, I don't know what people are talking about, collapsing players or whatever. I don't know what's going on here. And 2 Championship players collapsed in 5 days. Okay, says Jay, and I presume this is some sort of, people think there's something to do with the vaccine. Liverpool have got half an hour to get another 4 goals because they've got 5 apparently. No, they haven't. It's 4-0. Do you think we will ever get another underdog like Leicester winning the Premier League again, Mark? Says Mustang. Mustang Sally, Banish on and Mustang down. It's all going off in the Villa Crystal Palace game. It's not 5-0, by the way. And Blackburn are up to 4th, says Cool Kid. The Palace Villa game is very stop-start. I'm not. Look, this is about football. I'm not getting involved in vaccines. If you want to have it, have it. If you don't want to have it, don't have it. But like anything, make your own mind up. Do you think Arsenal will get top 4 or have a chance? Says Harry. At the moment, Arsenal have got to be very happy with the situation. I do think that Arsenal will be looking at West Ham, Manchester United, Tottenham, maybe a couple of other teams. And at the moment, if I was an Arsenal fan, I wouldn't be happy with Man United changing Solskjaer, because I think if we'd kept Solskjaer for another month, we probably would have been out the race of top 4. Arsenal are in a good position at the moment. If they can get a result at Old Trafford on Thursday night, if you finish above Man United, you're going to expect to get top 4, aren't you? So it's a big week for Arsenal. I wouldn't say they're doing very well, but they're doing a lot better under Arteta, and it makes me laugh how there are certain people in their fan base that even now aren't convinced. Massive progression. 55% possession for Wolves, but they've only had 3 shots to Norwich's 10. Still 0-0 in that game. If Norwich could get a win, it would be a massive win. It really would. It really would. Oxlade-Chamberlain coming on, another former Southampton player. Remember when Liverpool used to buy all their players from from Southampton? Mane, Lallana, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Van Dijk. There must be more. It's still 4-0. Norwich to make the great escape. Well, I keep forgetting they've got a new manager now. and they've had a bit of a bounce, haven't they? I mean, to be fair, their manager won a game and he got the sack. Lovren. Yep. Can you name your top TV pundits and how long do you think it will take United to play the Ranić way, says SR. I think it will take exactly 7.5 days for us to see an improvement. I've got no idea, really. Southampton have been very hit and miss, says Cathal. Top 10 pundits, I couldn't even do top 5. I think to do what we do, you've got to have your own opinions. So to really admire other pundits is quite difficult consistently. But I'd say there's a lot. I don't disrespect any pundit, really. I mean, there's some I do disrespect, actually. There's some I think are just talk. There's a few ex-players on Talk Sport specifically who are just absolute shite. Like, I really think they get their opinion off Twitter. And there's nothing wrong with Twitter opinions, but I actually think they do the research on there. Because they're so one extreme to the other, it's ridiculous. But out of the good pundits, I think sometimes they say good stuff and sometimes they say bad stuff. And I think that's the whole point. I've always said that on the United stand. You're not meant to agree with everything I say. Sometimes you don't agree with something I say, but it generates... Yeah, Agbong Lahore is one. Jamie O'Hara is another one. An opinion can sometimes you can totally disagree with, but it makes you think, and that's the whole point. Reet Gaming, thank you very much for subscribing, for giving us a super chat. Please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right hand corner. On the road to 600k. You're very welcome. I can't see Villa Palace staying 1-0. I really can't. I did... how's my fantasy team? I want to have a look at that, Jack. I'm going to have a look in a minute. Yeah, there's a lot on Talk Sport, like you say. Someone just said Trevor Sinclair. Laura Woods isn't a pundit, though, is she? She's a presenter. Ezzy's coming on for Palace. I think he's had an injury. Nazir says he's a great player. Ezzy's back, says Senk. Ezzy's on, says Mr. Majax. Could be the change. I did predict a Palace win, didn't I? So be very impressed if Villa get the result. I know a lot of Villa fans, so be a big win for them if they can get it. But just let me have a look at my points accumulation. I didn't pick my team anyway. Fucked up again. Oh, I've had a crap week. So I've got Luke Shaw, Damari Gray and Greenwood who are not probably fit. So that's 3 yellow exclamation marks. Smith Rowe didn't do anything. Salah's my captain. He's only got 1 assist. Oh no, Ronaldo's my captain. That's stupid. Salah's my vice captain. Aubameyang up front, nothing. I've got the Palace goalkeeper. Obviously, he's conceded. So, yeah, another crap week. I'll probably stop playing it soon. To be honest, I keep forgetting to do it anyway. Put your scores in though. When Ranić will take the charge of the club, says Swap Nil. I mean, we're just waiting for it to be announced. It could be Monday morning. It could be tonight. How good is Liverpool? Says Ange. They're so quick. Also, I feel after Ralph, people want Ten Hag, but his style of play is more tiki-taka Pep-like. I feel if Poch can get faster tempo, he'd be your take. He'd be better. Your take, says Ange. I think Liverpool have been very impressive, but I think Liverpool fans would say we took 1 point from 6 against Brighton and West Ham. So I think the great thing about this Premier League season so far is that Chelsea, Liverpool and Man City are quite clearly the best 3 teams by a very long way, but they're also capable of dropping points. Burnley got a point at Stamford Bridge a few weeks ago. Palace beat Man City at the Etihad a few weeks ago. Liverpool lost to West Ham and drew to Brighton at Anfield. They didn't lose to West Ham at Anfield. So there are points up for grabs. I'm not doing 5:30, no. Oh God, Brighton against Leeds, no. There's certain games I just won't touch. 0-0 between Norwich and Wolves yet. Some people have got 41 points so far. I think I would have done, if I'd actually bothered to look at it, if you're going to play Fantasy Premier League, I finished in the top 500 a decade ago. And if you're going to do Fantasy Premier League, you need to be checking it. You got to be checking it and keeping on top of it. And I just didn't. I didn't and don't. We're 100 subscribers away from 593 so please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. On the road. We're on the road to, yes, you're right, 600k before Christmas. Can we do it? The love I lost, the love I lost. Are you hanging up your stocking on your wall? Are you hanging up your stocking on your wall? Are you hanging up your stocking on your wall, 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 wall? Are you hanging up your stocking on your wall? Are you hanging your stocking on your wall? Are you hanging your stocking on your wall? Milner's coming on for Liverpool. Sing a Christmas song. It's Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid. At Christmas time, we let in light and we banish shade. And in our world... Mark, sing us the old Channel 4 Football Italia theme. That's Patrick. Italiano. I can't remember what the words were. Anyway, I better stop singing. People's ears are bleeding. And we're actually losing viewers. I've actually visibly seen us lose viewers. 500 people have gone in the last minute. There you go. That singing, you lost 400 viewers. I did. Literally, people. I mean, that is amazing. I don't really care how many people watch anyway, but that is funny, isn't it? They can sit. We have people amongst us who we're having a chat about all sorts of stuff, but the minute I start singing, I've had enough of that. 400 people just in different places in the world went, I ain't fucking listening to this. No, I'm fucking listening to this. Considered a subscription service to watch games, Mark. It's nice to see your raw reaction to what happens in the game, says right, RYTT Gaming. And I don't really care. I don't care. I'm not massively bothered. I mean, I like. It's nice when you get a lot of people watching, but I'm not bothered. How do you deal with the unnecessarily hate? Says SS. I think, you know, whether you're at school and you're being targeted by 3 or 4 bullies, or you're being targeted by hundreds of people online, it's the same thing, isn't it? You shouldn't have to, as long as you know that there are good people out there, and as long as you know your truth, I suppose it's a test of life, isn't it? You know, not everything in life is good. You know, I've seen things throughout my life that are not good, and you know, there's a dark side to life as much as there's a light side to life. You can't, you know, we did the charity stream a couple of weeks ago and we raised £35,000 in 12 hours. We did that as a community. How can that be how can we be bad? How can our community be bad when we don't harm anyone? We have a laugh, we have a chat, you know, we're quite harsh in relation to football, but that's what we love. And, you know, we raised a lot of money and things like that. So I just think you've just got to focus on the good, haven't you? Because there's definitely, the bad definitely exists. And, you know, I know people who've died of cancer in their early 40s, you know, good people. I know complete and utter arseholes who are in their 70s and still here. So, you know, the world doesn't make sense. And I think that's one of the big things about mental health that I've learned, is that when it comes to frustration and stress and bitterness, you can't control it. Somebody will have a better car than you. Somebody will earn more money than you. Someone will be more popular than you. Somebody will get more lucky than you. Somebody will be better than you at football. It's like these things will happen. And I think a lot of people get bitter and hate-fueled because they don't think it's fair. Well, life's not fair. See you later. Yeah, that's it. A lot of people's anger and frustration comes from life's not fair. I should have that. Well, tough shit. I wanted to be a footballer. I'm not. Some footballers are dickheads. Like, I'm not a dickhead. So, well, some people would disagree. But life's full of things that are not fair. And if you're going to let that bother you, then you're going to waste a lot of time. So I suppose that answers the question in a short way. I can't do anything about people who want to spread lies and hate about me. I can't do anything about it. So I choose just to crack on and enjoy the good things. Who do I think is going to get relegated, says Shane? I do think... Well, I predicted Norwich, Watford and Brentford. I might still be right about that. I can't see Burnley going down. But I definitely can see Newcastle going down. I just don't see where the points are going to come from for Newcastle. So Norwich with Dean Smith have given themselves an outside chance, but Newcastle should be getting relegated, which I think is it's not nice for Newcastle fans, but they'll come straight back up. They're going to be at some point in the next 5 to 10 years. Newcastle are going to be an established top 4 side, aren't they? That's the plan. But just because you're a billionaire doesn't mean that doesn't stop, does it? So start straight away. So I think Newcastle will go down. I think Norwich will go down. And I did predict Brentford to go down, but they've got a bit of a head start, so they might be all right. So maybe Watford. But I can't see... I think at least two of the Premier League promoted sides will go down. Ryan says, I'm curious about the breakless bracelet story behind it, says Ryan. So... This, if you ignore the cross was on a neck chain. I bought this black magnetic thing that would just look like that normally. I bought that from, I don't know what it's called. They're not sponsoring me anyway, so we shouldn't show it. But it's connected to by a magnet. You put it as a bracelet. It's a man's one. I think it's like a windbreaker or something. And I bought it like that, and then I took the necklace off and pulled that ring open, attached it, put it back together, and then it just becomes that. So, Goldbridge creativity, really. Basically, I didn't like wearing a necklace. It was irritating my neck. So, still 1-0 in Villa and Palace. It's at Selhurst Park. Mark, I had to leave the room but had my AirPods in. That was wonderfully said. Also, happy holidays from the States, says Daniel Luciano. Well, if it helps some people, it helps some people. I just think, I've said it before and I can say it in a very short way. Focus on the good people, because there are bastards out there. It's true. And I think people who think that they're good people, and I think I'm a good person, I also know that I can be a moody shit and I can make mistakes. I think that, I'm not arrogant enough to think my farts don't smell. But I try to live a good life. I think that's what most people do. But don't think that everybody else does. I think people think there's good in everybody, but there's not. There are some fucking horrible people out there. Horrible people. And if you're a good person, I think you think, well, how can they behave like that? How can they do that? How can they be like that? But they thrive on that. They thrive on you being bothered by their behaviour. Best Stelling Stocker Saturday impression. I can't do Stelling LFCJ. Liverpool, 20 minutes. Cross comes in again. Oh, that should have been the hat-trick by Jota. I think it was a lovely cross by Robertson. And he stretched out. Edouard's coming on for Palace. He stretches out for his hat-trick. And he doesn't get on the end of it. And it would have been a lovely assist for Robertson. He's put it bang into where you want it to be. Top 6 prediction, says Dylan. Oh, Dylan. How did you put 6 United players in combined 11, says Bartek? Because I did it... I know I said it was based on form. It wasn't based on form. It was based on ability. So, I think De Gea is better than Mendy. I think Shaw's better than Chilwell. I think Varane is better than whoever he was up against. I think Bruno's better than any of your number 10s. Ronaldo's better than Lukaku. I can't remember who the other one was. But red card in the Villa game. Red card in the Villa game. I don't know what's happened, but they've definitely just seen a red. "20 minutes with 10 men for Gerrard." I think it might be Douglas Luiz, who I don't know was actually starting the game. Still 0-0 in Norwich versus Wolves. Now then. Let's have a look what happens here. Douglas Luiz actually came on for Ramsey. He's only been on the pitch. Oh, he's only been on the pitch 2 minutes. I think he's a little bit unlucky. He's stretching for a ball and he's straightened his leg to show the studs. I think he's going to have a look on the TV, but I don't think the ref will overturn it. As a famous person, do you get worried that your kids may get bullied or called things? How does your family deal with all the online hate here? Get uses around here. Well, that's something where a line should not be crossed. You should not be bullying people's family, friends, or kids. It's got nothing to do with them, have they? We're just waiting to see if he's going to overturn the red card. It's a tight one. He's giving him a yellow. He's changed it to a yellow. It's a yellow. I don't know. I'd be a bit pissed off if I was a Palace fan. I don't know whether anybody's seen it, but I would be a little bit pissed off with that. He does stretch. He does show studs. I think it's a bit lucky, says Lesnide. And it's down to a yellow. See what people are thinking on socials there. Downgraded to a yellow on review for Luis. I think it could have gone either way. I think it's fortunate for, well, I say fortunate, a little bit fortunate for Villa and a little bit unfortunate for Palace. It could have gone either way, that. 6-0 to Liverpool by full time, says Lem. How long we got left? 15 minutes? Maybe not. That would have been a big thing for Villa if that had gone down to 10 men. They now still have 11 on the pitch. They're still 1-0. The love I lost, the love I lost was a good love. Please subscribe, by the way. We're 25 away from 500. So please subscribe. I say 500. 593 500. So please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Is Kai Havertz underrated or is he not that good, says LFCJ. I think he was a brilliant player before he came to Chelsea. I think last season was a bit of an adjustment season, which you've got to expect for any player that comes into the Premier League, but also he's a young player. And I think he's having a very good season this year, so I think he's a good player. I think, I always say, look at Fabinho. First season at Liverpool was a bit meh, and now I think he's one of the best. Robertson's been good today, on point today, says Himanshu. Yeah, he has. He's been very good for them. He's done a good job. Lee Turner says, I'm loving the video. Thanks, pal. Why is there so many games at 2 o'clock tomorrow, says Tom. Well, it must be Europa League. That's basically it. Europa and Conference League. There's a lot of teams that are playing on a Thursday night. So off the top of my head, West Ham, Leicester, Spurs. So the fixtures tomorrow in the Premier League are Brentford, Everton. I don't know why that's at 2 o'clock. They could have played today, but that's televised. So that's why Brentford, Everton is the televised game when they could have played today. Burnley, Spurs is because Spurs played Thursday night. Leicester, Watford is because Leicester played Thursday night. Man City, West Ham because West Ham played Thursday night. So that's, and then Chelsea, Man United obviously is Super Sunday. So you've got 4 games kicking off at 2 o'clock, but 3 games kicking off at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. It's not right, is it? It's never right. Apparently the referee for the Palace Villa game, it's his first ever Premier League game, and he's named Michael Salisbury. Might be his last. Do I think Van der Beek will start tomorrow? Says Ikra. I can't see. I'd love him to start with Fred and have Bruno ahead of him, but I think he will start McTominay. Apparently, Fred might be a bit of a doubt for that game. How far will United go in the Champions League? Will you win it? No, we're not going to win it, Bartek. Unless there's a massive improvement, we won't win it. Just watched you play at Old Trafford, Mark, says Ali. Oh, a long time ago. Memorable day. And I loved it. It's great. Minamino is going to come on for Liverpool. I think it could be a back five tomorrow, Arjen, yeah. I think Chelsea will win tomorrow. I think I'll be over them. I mean, if we win tomorrow, I'll be so happy. Really, really happy. Because then the new manager comes in with a bonus 3 points. But I think Chelsea, I think the best we can get is a draw. When's Ed Woodward leaving then? Is there a new statement about Ed Woodward leaving? A couple of people just mentioned that Ed Woodward's leaving. I don't know whether there's an announcement coming in. Let's have a quick look. No goals at the moment. La la la. Oh, overhead by Benteke, I think it was. Straight at the keeper. Used to play for Villa as well. I can't see anything about Woodward. I don't know where people are getting the report from. Seen something about that Casadou who went to Brighton saying he wants to play for Manchester United. Gary Neville's tweeted, get in Salford, so they must be winning. Not said anything about Ranić. Shall I tweet him and see if he replies? He might do, he might not. Oh, where was his tweet? Where was his tweet? There he is. See if he won't reply, but it'll probably get quite a bit of interaction. Hey Mark, any content next week for the United v Arsenal game? Well, there'll be watch-alongs and stuff, Muzzy, yeah. I'd be a lot more confident about Manchester United tomorrow if we'd had Ranić in all week and we were getting a bit of a bounce, but it's for the best that he's not taking that game first. So can you say a quick hello to my friend Shannon? She's in hospital with appendicitis. She would appreciate the support, says Joseph Harris. So, what was it? Hello, Shannon. Hope you're recovering well soon. Take care. Mark, you're doing a watch-along Crystal Palace versus Brighton. Good save by Martinez. Shot from distance by Palace. They're pushing in the last 10 minutes, Palace. I mean, Southampton couldn't push anything out at the moment. They're truly constipated, but they need to try and keep this scoreline down. And, you know, I suppose the only positive I could give Southampton is if you keep it to 4-0, that's the scoreline Arsenal got beat out by last week. 8 goals in 2 games at Anfield for Liverpool as well. For All Star says Lukaku to celebrate on you. I presume Lukaku is back. I've got no issue with Lukaku celebrating. I mean, this was mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Should Lukaku celebrate against Manchester United? Of course he should. Ollie basically benched him. He didn't like it at Man United in the last few months. I think he's got every right to celebrate against us. Yeah, I fully expect him to, if he scores. Yeah, Man United lost 5-0 at home to Liverpool, Dylan. Yes, you make a very good point. That's something that we won't be forgetting, no matter how long ago Ollie went. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I don't watch Portuguese football, no. I'm ratioing Gary Neville. Oh, God. Don't do that. Yeah, but he did say get in Salford. He's not gonna get loads of interaction for saying get in Salford when I'm saying what do you think of Ranić? Oh, that's so funny. I've just liked a video on Twitter. If you check my likes on Twitter at Mark Goldbridge, you'll see Wolfsburg's fan reaction to Erling Haaland is quite funny. You might have seen it on socials already. But yeah, comfortable win for Liverpool. I will be doing Wednesday night watch-along, Liverpool against Everton. I think it'll be an interesting one. Do you think with Ollie gone, our chances of getting Haaland are now completely gone, says Steve? I've never thought of it like that. That's a good point, Steve. I mean, Solskjaer has that relationship with Haaland, but you know, Haaland's best relationship is the one that he's got with Mino Raiola, isn't it? I tell you what, if Villa get this 3 points, it's a fantastic 3 points for Aston Villa. I'm not going to lie. Ollie should have stayed longer. The league misses him, says Bartek. I can tell you're not United fan, are you? Terrible Yoda. Terrible Yoda. If there was a problem, I'll solve it. So we've got 5 minutes to go in the Liverpool game. And we've got a little bit longer to go in the Palace Villa game. Palace pushing to get a point. As I say, it'd be very, very good for Villa if they can get it. And Villa, well, I was just bigging Villa up. They've bloody won it. They've won it late on. The Gerrard effect. John McGinn. Aston Villa make it 2-0. Massive, massive goal for Villa. Massive goal for Villa. Massive 3 points. Two impressive wins in a row for Gerrard. He's loving it, and that's the bounce you get. That is the bounce you get. I tell you what, McGinn's got a lovely left foot on him as well. He has got a really good left foot on him. And Palace, just like Brighton, very good team, Brighton. Very good team this season, Palace. And Villa have beaten them both without conceding a goal and scoring 2 themselves. I mean, well done to Villa, says Sean Fogarty, and I have to agree. You're always going to get a bit of a bounce, or you're always going to hope that you're going to get a bit of a bounce with a new manager. But it's amazing, the psychology, isn't it? The psychology of football, the mentality shift is so big. And, you know, I think for Villa, the 2 really difficult games to start off with, Brighton and Palace. I mean, look, it's not Man City and Chelsea, but still difficult when you're playing 2 very informed sides. And to go and get 6 points from those 2, You know, as I was saying in the first half, somebody said, do you think Liverpool would be making a Solskjaer-type mistake to get Gerrard and sentimentality? But the difference is, if Gerrard takes Villa into being a top 6 side consistently for 2 years, then Liverpool would be right to take him. You know, with United, we gave Ollie the job as an interim to sort of steady the ship, and then stupidly gave him a full-time job, which all the fans wanted him to get. That's very impressive from Gerrard to go down there and get 6 points straight away. And I don't know what they're still 0-0 between Norwich and Southampton, Norwich and Wolves, by the way. But let's have a quick look at what Villa's next few games are, because I mean, the one thing is it will not get any easier. Definitely won't get any easier. But Villa would go up to 11th place with 16 points and get themselves right back in the mix. Midweek, Villa play Man City, which is very difficult. Then they've got Leicester. Then they've got Liverpool. So 3, you know, it was never going to be an easy start for Gerrard. Brighton, Palace, Man City, Leicester, Liverpool as his first 5 games, and he's already got 6 out of 15. So, you know, 6 out of 6. Gets better for them after that. Norwich, Burnley, Chelsea on Boxing Day. You know, it is. As I said, apart from Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea, who are deservedly the best 3 teams in the league, I think it's there's so many games that you just can't call. Palace are good, Brighton are good, Leeds on their day can be good, Wolves are good, Spurs are rejuvenated, Arsenal are better this season, Leicester are dangerous, West Ham are good. You know, there's so many different difficult games this season. I'd love a draw for United tomorrow. I mean, I'd love a win tomorrow, Master, but I think it'd be very difficult for United to get anything more than that. You all right? Yeah, you're right. So Southampton look like they're going to keep it to 4. We're well into the second minute of injury time, and well, Villa are going to get the win. Not quite at 90 minutes yet, but yep, very, very good. Dream collabs, Mark, says Jenna. I actually want to do some sort of football collabs, actually. I do want to sort of get out and do a bit of like action stuff. That'd be nice. I enjoyed the Driving with Goldbridge collabs, but I would like to do some other stuff, yeah. Please subscribe, by the way, just as we're coming towards the end of the stream. Manchester United versus Chelsea will be on United Stand tomorrow night. Definitely going to do Liverpool against Everton on Wednesday night. Arsenal and United on Thursday night, of course. So lots of watch-alongs to come. Hassan Hulton, Klopp embrace. 4-0 to Liverpool. And as I said, Selhurst Park empties as Gerrard takes another 3 points, and a very, very impressive one. Ranić had signed Haaland before for Leipzig, for Salzburg when he was director of football there, so I don't see why he wouldn't be able to do it again. That's a good point, SKY. I just think with the big issue with Erling Haaland is that it's very clear that they're going to do a Zlatan with him. Raiola can make the most money from Haaland by moving him along every 2 or 3 years. So if he comes to Manchester United, people would expect him to, I'll fall in love with United and be here for a decade. That won't happen. You know, Raiola never wanted it to happen with Pogba, so it won't happen. And therefore, does it really fit in with what you want? Wan-Bissaka or Reece James? Well, it's Reece James at the moment. He's in the form of his career at the moment. 6 minutes added on for Palace, so the Palace game, so potential to something else to happen, but probably not. Stevie G masterclass. They're not quite over the line yet. I'm not playing FIFA today. I don't normally play on the weekend, Sam. So yeah, 0-0. It's still 0-0. Watford, Wolves and Norwich. It's not a bad result for United, actually, because Wolves are actually above us. So we could do with, as sad as it sounds, Wolves drawing with Norwich is a good result for United. So there we go. Just looking in the Championship, Birmingham beating Blackpool, Coventry losing to Bournemouth, Huddersfield have lost to Middlesbrough, Hull have beaten Millwall, Cardiff beaten Luton, Peterborough and Barnsley 0-0, Stoke losing to Blackburn, and Reading beating Swansea 3-2. Sheffield Wednesday have got back for a draw against Wickham with 12 minutes to go. I don't know where they are in the league, but Sheffield Wednesday all the way down. All the way down in League 1 now. Yeah, make sure you check out my videos, actually. They're on the Sky Sports Football YouTube page. Third and fourth video. The best one is ranking who's to blame at Manchester United. So, it's done very well. Check it out. Check it out. Still a couple of minutes to go here. Thanks everyone who's tuned in this afternoon. I've really enjoyed it, actually. West Ham against Chelsea next Saturday will be the game at 12:30. I might carry on to 3 o'clock. Rangnick wants to make Leipzig... I've read that. I've done that. Yeah, there is a couple of stories about Manchester United. Rangnick's first signing. Donny van der Beek potentially leaving. And concerns about Ronaldo. That's the latest video on the United stand that I uploaded. Villa are 1 point off United now. Yep. The Liverpool game is over. So let me just stop that. But Palace and Villa still going. Still a couple of minutes to go in that one. Liverpool too strong, says Peter. Yeah, look, I'll be absolutely honest. This league table, I would be stunned if it's not going to be a title race between Chelsea and Liverpool and Man City. I'd actually quite like it to be a three-way rather than a two-way. Palace, I think, have got a goal back. Wolves have drawn. I think Palace have got a goal back, and they have. It's a bit of a sloppy one. There's a minute to go. They're running back to the halfway line with the ball. I don't know who got the goal. Vieira's Palace. I predicted that they would win 2-1. Gehi scored. Palace have got a goal. So clean sheet points for Villa gone deep into extra time. Stoppage time. There is still about a minute, 2 minutes to go. Imagine the scenes. Shout out to Alex from Joseph Harris. Gehi scored. I'm rubbish with names, as we already know. Well, they've got to get the ball up the other end here. There's about 30 seconds of sanction time and anything he adds on for the goal. So it could have another minute. But this Villa have got the throw in. How's your day going? Says Demi. It's been a busy day. I've been up at 5:30, down to London to do the Sky thing, back up from London, done a United Stand show, just done this. So busy day. But can you give my mate Dan a shout out? He's currently crying over Newcastle loss. Be appreciated if you could. That's Dan Hall from Charlie Bell. You know what, Dan? You're going to get relegated, but in 5 years' time, you'll probably be a top 4 side. So think of it like that. I don't think many people are going to feel sorry for you because ultimately Newcastle will be a big club at some points, but I think you will get relegated. I think Gallagher might have got the assist, although it came in from the right, so I'm not 100% sure. But Newcastle, bottom of the league. Sorry, Dan, I've just shouted Newcastle out for absolutely no reason. Villa have won against Crystal Palace. A fantastic result for Villa. 2 wins in a row under Steven Gerrard. Puts them up to 16 points. Thanks, Mark. Heart of Glass is in my head all night. I love Heart of Glass. I'll tell you what's a really good version of Heart of Glass as well. Miley Cyrus is good, but also if you type in Heart of Glass, House of Gucci remix, very good. Very modern take on it. But look, really enjoyed it this afternoon. Chilled out sort of Saturday afternoon stream, which we sometimes do. And, all right. And I will be 8 o'clock on the United Stand. We'll be back. Check out the latest video on the United Stand. It's really good. I've only just done that. Also, Sky Sports Football. If you check that out, there's a couple of videos with me on it that have gone up as well. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on video, subscribe, and all that jazz. Love That's Football. Really love the community, and if you're part of it, thank you very much. I will speak to you all a little bit later on. Take care. I'm off to go and have a shower and probably have get to work on a steak and chips meal.